for celebrities, politics, sports, and anything else that might be relevant. You join us in News HQ for Mr. Hurley's Evening News. Hello and welcome to Mr. Hurley's Evening News, bringing you the news so you don't have to. My name is Mark Hurley and you join me here in News Headquarters. These papers are blank. Now, let us jump to today's headlines without any of the messing. Now, I am wearing a bright blue suit jacket and a pink shirt that I found. This is because I'm feeling bright and summery colours. But enough about myself and my fabulous fashion sense. Also in the news, my tech crew have been able to use a new camera position. So hopefully, I'm getting told now, you will be able to see the top of my head. Now also we're going to be looking into the serious news about the Middle Eastern region. That will be taking up quite a segment of ours. And then we're going to be looking at some country called North Korea. Donald Trump, another guy in America doing, I don't know, something dumb maybe. And then we're going to be looking at other stories that people are wanting to hear about. Or not. Now, we're going to touch on the serious news currently. The US have now involved themselves in the Iran and Saudi Arabia row after Saudi Arabia's execution of a high Shia cleric that Iran sees as an act of aggression. Now, John Kerry, on a phone call with the two diplomats from Iran and Saudi Arabia, have said that he's hoping that they will find a diplomatic diffusion for the crisis in the region, that hopefully it won't turn into violence, because times like these and these kind of situations can erupt into violence. They can be used. Now also on Monday, Bahrain, Sudan and the United Arab Emirates also recalled their ambassadors and cancelled their relations with Iran. So they have also joined with Saudi Arabia. Now also on Tuesday, Kuwait have recalled their ambassador from Tehran and also cutting off their relations along with Saudi Arabia and their allies. For what they see is what Iran is doing is an act of aggression against them, but what Iran says is what they see is Saudi Arabia doing an act of aggression against them. But as I said, United States are involved in this current rows. John Kerry is seeking for the two nations to find a diplomatic solution around this. This is also to keep a united front against Islamic State. Now, talking about Islamic State, we are now going to go on to the second part. A Yemenese governor from the port city, I believe the city is called Anbar, he survived a attack from so-called Islamic State. Now, he survived a car bomb, and this car bomb resulted in the death of one of his bodyguards, but he did survive. Now, Islamic State have declared that the attack was from them, as this might be a desperate land grab and activity within Yemen to come from them, but more on that as it unfolds. Speaking of a desperate land grab, now, the reason why I use the word desperate is a military official from the US-led coalition against IS has said, Colonel Stephen Warren said that, and he told us that IS, Islamic State, is on the defensive and they haven't gained an inch of land in Iraq since May. Now, this is definitely showing that they are on the defensive, as Iraqi soldiers, like I mentioned in the last episode, are pushing forward against them. Then also they have lost a total of what can be recorded as 20% of their land in Syria. So we can see maybe the shaking and the breaking of Islamic State under the pressure of pretty much the world. Now, as though they are on the defensive, they're also launching small counter-offensives where they can, but hopefully these are being counteracted, and the coalition and Russia continue to support from the air, and hopefully we will see more troops moving in and knocking IS targets out. But that is all of the serious news for this segment now. We are going to take a break once again, and then we will lighten our spirits afterwards. Now, we are going to go straight to the weather room. Mark, are you there? Do you come in? Wait, what? Oh. Hi there, my name is Weatherman Mark and you join me here in Mr. Hurley's Evening News Weather Room for our low budget weather report. Now, once again we are back and let's check the weather for you this evening. Without further ado, let's go. We're still just going to have to open this window. Yeah. I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah. Well, this evening it's incredibly cold once again, with the easterly breeze coming in a direction that it's moving in, and it is incredibly cold, and it is definitely a very unclear and foggy night. Now, if you were going out this evening, wear night vision goggles or heat-seeking goggles so you are able to see through the fog. Maybe some gloves, multiple hats, many scarves, 15 jumpers and at least 24 socks. Now this is because the cold is coming in now, definitely after the abnormally warm winter that we had in November and December, but I'm sure it will continue being as cold as it is through January. Now, if you're at home, please just sit by the fire and enjoy your evening. But once again, if you do not live in the United Kingdom, then please proceed and look out of your window. Hell, I'll wait. Have you done that? Brilliant. Well, there is your weather report for this evening. And if you're wondering what actually is Thursday's weather report for tomorrow, then please, when you wake up, look out of your window and there it is in front of you. That is your weather report. Brilliant. Have we finished? Good. Now, this has been Weatherman Mark, and sadly we have to sign off also. Thank you for being here in the weather room. You've been with me and we've given you your low budget weather report. This is us once again saying we have no money. We just have no money. Okay? I'm sorry. Back to you in the studio, Mark. Brilliant. Now remember to keep what he says in mind. Right, now for the second segment we are going to talk about some country called North Korea, I think their name is. They have declared this morning that they have conducted the first successful test for what they call a hydrogen bomb. Now, from Mr. Hurley's Evening News to North Korea, we begin to welcome our new overlords and our dear leader Kim Jong. I can't say that with a straight face, because of only another country in the world had just as powerful machinery and bombs to keep a country like North Korea under wraps. Oh yes, it's called America and the rest of the world. No, now they said that they launched a hydrogen bomb test, but to be honest, North Korea and missile tests, I just think that's not really breaking news. To be honest, the most surprising news would be if they said they've scrapped their nuclear budget and have begun producing TV sitcoms. I think that would be the most surprising news and have the world in shock. Now, there is a lot of skeptical thoughts on the hydrogen bomb that they have actually apparently tested. A lot of skeptical opinions across the world: China, Russia, America, Britain also. Here at Mr. Hurley's Evening News, we actually think that they just got a barrel of hydrogen and just dropped it from a crane. Whether that did something, I'm sure they will let you know. But we will keep you posted on whatever Kim's up to. I'm sure we will maybe have him on for an interview, maybe. But it is considered that North Korea's budget is on par with Mr. Hurley's Evening News. Now also, we're going to go back to our times talking about United States politics, and a man called Donald Trump, I know I haven't heard of him either, and apparently he's questioned the right whether Ted Cruz, another Republican candidate, should run and actually be running for president as he was born in Canada. Now, sometimes there are times in life where you just want to fall on your knees and cry just because of the world, and I think Donald Trump has made us feel that through the last months of 2015 and the beginning of 2016. Now, we've seen him do it with Obama, questioning his right to be president, and now he's doing it with someone else. I think something is going on, and I think he might be trying to make everyone look away from where he was born. And I think from Mr. Hurley's Evening News, we should begin to dwell in where Donald Trump was born. That's the question I'll raise with you. Now, also on Donald Trump, the UK Parliament is set to be discussing the current petition which has gone around online and has been signed so quickly. Over 500,000 people have signed it. They have to debate it now whether Donald Trump should be banned from the United Kingdom. Whether he is, whether he isn't, maybe he should be. But we will keep you posted and see when Parliament are called to discuss that. But if he is banned from the United Kingdom, Mr. Hurley's Evening News will have to go over to the United States to have an interview and a segment with him, because we are screaming for it. Now, some lighter stories. One lighter story for this evening, before we wrap up. In New York City, their cat cafes, inspired by the Japanese cat cafes, now have announced that they're going to have a movie night. And these movie nights, they're inviting people to come in and just sit down, watch a film, and also cuddle up with some cats. Now, I haven't been to a cat cafe myself. I presume the cats run it quite well, and I presume the service is alright, even though you are being served by a cat. But I'm sure that these movie nights will come down as a storm for those cat lovers out there. Maybe I might have to head over myself. But I'm sure the cats are excited, and depends what film they will have. Maybe they'll have Stuart Little. Again, another shit joke brought to you by Mr. Hurley's Evening News. Now, before we wrap up, we will talk about the stock markets currently and look at them. XAX is down by 51%. RCMP is down by 99%. 0.99%, excuse me. And Poundland is up by a pound. 99p store is down by 99p, and Boots is up by a hairdryer. And that was me saying I have no idea about the stock. So that was our first and only stock market check. We're not doing that again. Anyway, I am going to have to say that now is the time that I will have to love you and leave you. Please leave a like, a comment, just subscribe, watch my videos, experiment with my videos, and just like them, watch them, enjoy them, hell, comment on them, write into us, and just, yeah, brilliant. I will have to love you and leave you, and we have important work to do on Friday. My suit, my new haircut also has places to go and people to see. Once again, I am a busy man. So I am going to have to leave you. This has been Mr. Hurley saying good evening and good night. I will see you Friday for our Friday special. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Mr. Hurley's Evening News. Thank you very much for stopping by, and remember to tune in on Monday, Wednesday, and especially for our Friday specials. Leave a like and a comment. Thank you and good night.